Yes. Yeah, no, there's no, we are fucked. We're fucked. When that, everyone's gonna need a fingerprint scanner. That's how you're gonna everything. And I'm not talking about the thing on your phone. No. No. I'm talking about the readers that are on bank vaults. We're gonna all need one of those. Quantum computing is going to fucking wreck us. The passwords are not going to be a thing anymore. That's how great of a force quantum computing is going to be. It's going to be hell. It's going to be hell. Yes. Yeah, no, there's no, we are fucked. We're fucked. When that day comes, everyone's gonna need a fingerprint scanner. That's how you're gonna unlock everything. And I'm not talking about the thing on your phone.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Yinka, your favorite wound specialist, and my message for today is to stop. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Yinka, your favorite wound specialist, and my message for today is to stop shaving. I know, but hear me out. So when I say stop shaving, I'm not just specifically talking about the way you remove hair, but removing hair in general. If you are still shaving, I'm gonna need you to get to the 21st century, because who the fuck still shaves? We're definitely waxing these days, but
not me.
I'm not just talking about the hair removal method, but hair removal in general. Although I am a licensed esthetician, I will always promote waxing over any other type of hair removal. I am a wound specialist first.
To me, that's crazy.
And what I have noticed.
So I haven't listened to the rest of what she's got to say, but basically she's saying to stop shaving. And, you know, I think that's okay if you're an isolation type person like me. I'm all to myself, so that's okay, you know. But she's saying she promotes waxing over everything else. I think that's crazy, because I had a wax one time. It was not a happy story. I didn't even though I paid for it, I didn't even want to finish it. It was that terrible. It was crazy. And I think the first time I went to get, like, all the teenagers when I was in high school was getting their eyebrows waxed. So I was like, okay, there was a beauty school nearby. I tried it. I looked like somebody punched me in my face. It was awful. The second time I was older, I was in my late 20s, and I'm scared to use the word dating because they changed the word into something else. But I had a boyfriend, and his gift to me was like this spa treatment. And I've always been a very basic type of person, so I was just like, that's ridiculous. I got $500 to spend on candles, and so I was trying to find things to use it on. So I opted for the wax, and I was going to get the full bikini wax, and it just started to wax like the back of my leg, and I was like, oh no. That was the end of that. So yeah, but I don't think waxing is the best. I mean, you're ripping hair out of your body. I don't get that. Nair to me is great. The only thing is, if you're somebody that cares about what you look like and you're outside all the time and showing off, it's going to come to a point where you're going to your hair grows back, and you have to let it grow at least to a certain length for the nair to really be effective.
Notice with my clients who come in with waxing or getting waxed,
I'm thinking like company might help me to, wind down, but yeah, I can't sleep. That's why I'm here.
More frequently, they have the most vaginal issues. If y'all know anything about America and their methods of manipulation, it's pretty consistent across the board. So back in the early 1900s, between World War I and World War II, women started to remove hair to be more sexy and more attractive to men. Why is that? Because a lot of older white men have child fetishes.
I think that's true too.
Of course, everybody wants to profit off of women's vanity. So once they saw that,
I think that's true too. By the way, I think this world is full of a lot of that. Recently, not just in the news, but recently in general, especially just looking back on older music and things like that. A lot of it is really kind of sick, and you don't catch on to it when you're younger. And then when you hear stories, and I talked this before, like Drew Barrymore, and it's sad. And I remember when you were younger, you thought it was the thing to be famous or whatever. And as you get older, the more and more older you get, the more and more you realize that less is so much more. So much more. I have nothing, but if I had more of nothing, it would be even better. So there you go.
It was a profitable industry. Then they started to tell you that this was a part of hygiene and that you were less ladylike if you did not remove hair. So now all of you guys think that this is a part of hygiene and that you're more clean or that you are, this removes body odor when you are shaving, which is the furthest thing from the truth. Body hair does hold sweat, and
that's what I was going to say too, because she was saying that it was first, she's going back to come back on it though, that removing hair does, you know, is further from truth about body odor, and she's coming back to it. But I think it does hold, some people like it, some people don't. Certain times I do and certain times I don't. And the reason we're talking about it is this just happens to be the next video that came on.
Else that comes out of your body, but the gag is what goes in is what's going to come out. So your body hair, don't blame the body hair or the pubic hair on you having body odor. Blame it on what you're putting in your body. One thing about Western culture is they gonna mask some symptoms, okay? So instead of masking your symptoms, just heal from it, you guys. Like, I know that there's gonna be a group of women who like, I'm still gonna shave my pussy. Like, girl, grow up, get a man who's grown, who's not sitting up here telling you to groom your body, and enjoy good pussy, because a ball winner all the time ain't it. Follow me for more womb healing tips and tricks. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Yinka, your favorite womb specialist, and my message for today is to stop.
I need you all to know that I made a video saying I would never advertise anything. And I'm still standing by that, but I want to make you aware of an offer I was given. A certain company asked if I would write a ad and make it for $2,000. Which would be a lot of money if I didn't know what company it was coming from. So, this was my counter offer. Aren't you a multi-million-dollar company? I'm a poor college kid with bills to pay. $2,000 is the equivalent of giving a kid a couple quarters for yard work. We're adults here, buddy. I can't even afford the product they want me to promote, and I can't buy the product with $2,000. So, cough up, buddy. I'm poor. I need you all to know that I made a video saying I would never advertise anything. And I'm still standing by.
There's a reason this double chocolate banana bread went viral.
Oh, I have to tell y'all about this real quick. So y'all can't see it, of course, but they were talking about this double chocolate banana bread. It doesn't look like banana bread at all. It looks like really, really rich chocolate cake. Ironically, one thing I want to mention real quick, side note, if anything makes you angry or upset or frustrated, the reason why is because you have not appropriately set your boundaries. I'm just going to say that. And the reason that I'm saying this is I was really upset about something today. A couple of somethings. One of them was because a boundary that I set for myself that I didn't keep. A secondary one was another one about a boundary that I set for myself and I didn't keep. And the third one was because I was just frustrated because, and when you look at the root of the issue, it was still me, because I had to spend an exorbitant amount of time on the phone dealing with something, but I guess it was not avoidable. But yeah, about this banana chocolate cake thing, it looks straight up like decadent chocolate, but I've been making some really, really, really good banana pudding over the past few days, and probably just horrible for you. I think I've gained so much weight I can't even fit the night dress I normally throw on. But basically it's just cream cheese, straight up cream cheese, either whipped cream cheese or regular cream cheese. And then what I'll do is I'll have it at room temperature till it's really, really soft. Then I'll take a whole banana and cut it up into the cream cheese and mix it and mash it real good, blend it together. And then, this is awful. This is really bad because I was eating like a pound of it a day. And then take your Nilla wafers and place it into, do it the way you normally do Nilla wafers in the banana pudding mix. And it's really not banana pudding, it's bananas and straight up cream cheese. And I literally ate a pound of that a day. Then I was doing like homemade jalapeno poppers. I mean, just stuff. But this time I went to get some more stuff for banana pudding, but I'm doing it different. Instead I still have the vanilla wafers, but I also have chocolate fudge Pop-Tarts. And I'm still going to do the banana pudding with just the cream cheese and the bananas. And then chocolate sauce on top. Oh my gosh. And then I have some marshmallows too, so it's crazy.
Okay, let's go.
Screenshot this recipe. You are going to want.
I'm not doing all
So
that.
it took
So the real
There's a reason
she has the real recipe
So
for
it took
banana
everyone
pudding.
2
I'm not
years to
doing all
figure out that
that.
I was right.
Earlier today, I spoke with the family of Breonna Taylor. This morning, they were informed that the Justice Department has charged 4 current and former Louisville Metro Police Department officers with federal crimes related to Ms. Taylor's death.
The mayor of Louisville, Kentucky started a hit squad to harass people of color in poor neighborhoods. The house that Breonna Taylor was renting from was sitting in the middle of a gentrification project that the mayor's developer buddies need to get rid of before they could start construction. So after cops arrested an actual drug dealer 10 miles and 10 minutes after, they faked a search warrant to go harass Breonna Taylor.
Those alleged crimes include civil rights offenses, unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction offenses. We allege that the defendants knew their actions in falsifying the affidavit could create a dangerous situation.
Yeah, the dangerous situation was getting Breonna Taylor shot so the city could buy her house for $1. What, you thought I made that number up?
Without a lawful objective justifying the use of deadly force, defendant Hankison traveled away from Ms. Taylor's doorway to the side of the building and fired 10 shots into Breonna Taylor's apartment through a bedroom window and a sliding glass.
You guys, I hate when people always interrupt, but I'm gonna say this. I don't know if y'all can really hear clearly, but basically the guy's talking about they found out that Breonna Taylor, it was all a big setup. She did absolutely nothing wrong. There was no real search warrant to go for her. They created one and try to plant some fake drugs, whatever, because of gentrification, trying to get the house or the property that she owned there. If they put her in a hospital and shoot her, eventually, demise. That's crazy, right? And what this does is it takes me back to my childhood. When I was little, I remember seeing some kind of special on TV. For those of you who don't know, military family, father's black man, mother's South Korean. They came to the U.S. together. Both sides of the family were really racist. My father discharged from the military. He started drinking. And I can't imagine the stuff I go through with jobs. I can imagine what he went through. I don't drink or anything like that. But discharged. Needed help. He was in and out of jobs. I get that too. Eventually welfare system, but my dad couldn't take us to welfare. But I remember growing up and watching shows like Oprah and Phil Donahue and things like that. And they were talking about some town back in the day where these people bought these houses, lived in them for 20, 30 years, however long, got it set up exactly where they wanted. Some of them had got to the point where they were retired. They were little old people. Like I feel like a little old person now, but little old people. And the government came and took their houses, gave them a couple $1,000s or even a couple $100 and took their homes that they built all their life. And that's when I knew that I never wanted to own a house. But then when I got older and went through all this stuff, I thought a little bit differently because you're still paying for it. But it's something that, when somebody takes something that belongs to you, that you put your time, your effort, and your mind to, it really takes a whole lot out of you. So I never wanted a house, never wanted to own anything. And then when I went through that legal situation, I really didn't want anything then because it solidified everything that I knew when I was younger, that you don't own anything. And even now with my computers and stuff like that, you don't own anything. I mean, you're working on stuff. I remember back in the day when I used to be able to work on stuff and just leave my stuff on the computer and go to sleep and wake up, it's still there. If you go to sleep now, you're liable to have the computer restart on you, shut down, lose your stuff, or decide that it's going to wipe everything out, or somebody could remotely access it without you knowing it and mess your stuff up, And so if and they used to ask the question in the past, if there was something differently that you could do with your life, what would you do? And I used to always never have any regrets, nothing. But I think now I would say that I would never get involved with computers, never, because it takes over. And I say this because I thought I was it sneaks up on you. I thought I was doing everything right, where, we were always told not to watch TV or whatever, not by my mom, because my mom kind of stood back, but society, programming and all this. And so I never watched TV. I prided myself on that. And then when they got computers came about, I was like, okay, still not watching TV. I was just using it to chat, Black Planet, Yahoo, Yahoo IM, Yahoo Chat, Yahoo Live, and all of that. That's when back in the day when that stuff was going on. And then, YouTube started coming out, but I didn't really know much about it. Then I got into the legal thing, And had I known, it slowly creeped into me because it didn't really settle into me that whatever TV was doing, that's what the internet really was doing. And now I'm kind of addicted to it, And I was saying earlier how I think it affects it really does, it's introducing me to this stuff, which is interesting. and you want to push it off as being knowledge or something that you're learning. But at some point, you have to realize that you've watched enough to know that that's how the world operates, and now it's time to live your life. But what I don't like about it is, quote unquote, living my life means that, jobs, computers. You're on the computer. You have to be on a computer to look for a job. Well, in my case, to look for a job, you get a job, and then the job is attached to the computer. And at first, you think, and it's like a Trojan horse. You think something's a blessing, but it's really not a blessing. You're like, okay, great, work from home. This is what I missed out on the homeless years or whatever. But then you realize, as time goes along, that some of these companies that are doing this, no. And then you realize that, what used to be something that you felt was something of prestige really is not anymore. That now all types of runts are involved. And when I say runts, just regular companies that you don't know what they got in the background. I'm going to tell you, I recently talked about how they talked about the new coins and whatever. Oh, speaking of new coins, here's some more new technology for you guys. Recently in Atlanta, a lady posted about going to Kroger and to purchase her husband some beer, right? And when she went to purchase her husband the beer, the cashier at Kroger's asked him to scan his driver's license. When he scanned his driver's license, they were just like, what's up with that? And the cashier explained to them that as soon as you scan your driver's license, you can see if somebody's a sex offender or not, if their license is suspended, and the police are called immediately and they take your license away from you. What kind of life are we living? And really, that's not even, you want to think that that's the biggest offense, but it's not, because at least that's outside of your home. But inside of your home, there's so much more. Like I said, and it's so much what we willingly do, because when I say we, I mean me. I can't speak for anybody else. Addicted to the internet. If you take somebody, like for me, I was a good person, whatever. You take away family, you take away friends, and then I never really had to have a social thing. Even social media, I didn't have to, none of that stuff was important to me. But I like to learn, I like to create. So that's what the computers were, me learning and creating. And then when the part came when my family disowned me, I was like, wow, but it's for the best though, because if you watch and see what's going on in the world, it's for the best, that means nothing. But you start, that dopamine hit, especially with TikTok, it's just one little 1 minute videos, in and out, in and out. And if you don't like something, it's not going to last long. You move on to the next, But when do you start, and I talked about this morning during my dream blog, when do you start focusing on you? And that used to be something I prided myself in, that I didn't sit and watch news and all that, because it was gossip and it was garbage and it was deteriorating and demeaning and so forth and so on. And just like, and I'm going to take it even a step further, like when people talk about sex and things like that, it's intercourse, it's intermingling, and they say it's a spiritual exchange when that happens. The same thing, I think, when you come in contact with people and you interlocute or communicate with people or be in people's presence. I saw something where it was saying that your heart gives off a magnetic energy field, right? And it goes up to 10 to 15 feet away, And so that's why if you're around somebody that's depressed, that's lonely, that's sad, that's tired, that's negative, and it rubs off on other people. If you think about it, think about standing in a line at Wendy's or McDonald's. I don't go to McDonald's and I don't really like Wendy's, but back when we used to stand in line, even at the grocery store or at the bank, right? You had a great day, you walk in, you're all chipper, and then somebody 2 persons ahead of you is huffing and puffing and acting a fool. After a while, it starts to rub off on you. Same thing with music. You're listening to music, and the music's like, oh, beautiful day, whatever, whatever, and you're happy, and then it's like, oh, kill that, hit that, whatever, with a bottle. All that programming, And now I've fallen victim to programming too, because me sitting and watching TikTok, what is programming me to, because I usually, and some of it's for the better, some of it's for the worse, just like, there's some things that are kernels of truth, like in the Bible, how they talked about how Adam and Eve ate from the tree of good and evil. When we get knowledge and information, it's the same thing. Sometimes ignorance really is bliss, because you get to be into yourself and fill your mind and your spirit with who you are. But when you consume other people's energies, mind, spirit, knowledge, or false knowledge, it becomes part of you. Like, I never was into the race thing, like, oh my gosh. But when you see it, a lot of it's true, And it's hurtful, and it's actually downright frightening, to learn that white people used to eat black people. That's scary. I mean, like you would kill a pig or whatever, black people, and they would eat them. And if you think about back in the 60s and 70s, if you had grandmas or granddads, they would talk about, they called the ambulance a meat wagon. And the reason why is because they're bringing meat. The meat is dead people black people that they done picked up somewhere. It all comes from somewhere, and it's scary. And now they don't want to teach the critical race theory. And I think that, the modern day white people should know about it, because people need to know their history. And I think they need to know about it, I think they do. And I don't believe in white folks bowing down, because I see someone on TikTok where it's just like everything's black, I don't believe that. I think, people should be who they are and acknowledge the good and bad of their culture and their race, and affirm to themselves who they are going to be. But then the other part of it too, when you look at it further, if you look at animals, you look at dogs and things like that, some of these creatures, if you're watching these videos, are very much human-like, so who's to say what's right or wrong or whatever. And then when we look at eating meat, and I'm guilty because I pork chop and rib it down. I used to not eat pork and whatever. System changed me, the legal system and what I was exposed to. I've opened myself to all that crap, but that's all I eat now basically is pork chops and ribs. Why? I used to eat a lot of chicken, but I'm used to paying $5.90 for a 10-pound bag. I'm not paying $9 for it. Crazy, right? But the damage that it does in your body, and that's the other thing. When I talked to y'all about something that made me really mad today, that was one thing that made me really mad, and when we get mad again, we're angry because we failed to uphold boundaries that we should have created for ourselves. And that's what it was. I talked to y'all about Mr. B's IGA. I swear to you, I bought $26 worth of groceries. The state tax on it was $1.09. The tax that is not state tax, it goes to the owner. He charges 10% more. It's $2.80. Can you imagine? And then the people that go there, there's people that have cars that go there, You can go up the street for half a mile, 2 miles to Walmart. But people continue to support this place, including me, And sometimes we try to find something good about it so that we can believe in it and be happy. But no, people and businesses tell you who they are the first time. They really do. But anyways, watching this, I can't believe this is happening in today's day and age. And talking about the meat wagon and all that, about the white people used to eat black people. I saw what really tied it all in was I saw this video where this white person was just like, why do we keep pretending that black people are humans, when they're not? And see, when you dehumanize people, it makes it easier. Just like animals, when you don't look, some people, I guess, can talk to animals as pets. And then, I talked about a former employer that had a pet pig, So it's all a matter of perception. You just have to determine, and I'm not going to degrade somebody else or uplift somebody else for it, but you have to determine what it is that you will and will not do in your life, that you will and will not accept in your life, and live by it. And the other thing, too, is anger management. When you find yourself getting angry, look at yourself, and I had, like I said, I'm in transition in so many things because it's all a cycle. You learn, I always said look for, what you did wrong so you can make the situation better. I still believe that to a certain extent, but then my age and wisdom and experience has taught me that, sometimes people don't want it. There's people out there that don't want it to be better, So you make sure that you've done everything you could, to, get your goal in place. And then if you find that whoever or whatever you're interacting with is not allowing for that or does not have the same goal, you walk away, That's the biggest gift that you have, is the opportunity to walk away, in my opinion. So, but anyways.
Store that were both covered with blinds and curtains.
Yeah, I remember all those Blue Lives Matter people talking about, oh, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend shot one round first and then all the cops were returning fire. That's not what happened. One cop went to the side of the house and emptied a mag into a window. Yeah, you clowns are trying to be like, oh, the cops are scared for their lives, trying to give them qualified immunity when one dude literally went to the side of the house to do a hit job. So it took everyone 2 years to figure out that I was right.
Earlier today, I spoke with the family of Breonna Taylor. This morning, they were informed that the Justice Department has charged 4 current.
All right, so See, this is why I need to stop watching this because it affects me. Okay, this really affects me. So the Breonna Taylor thing, like I said, I wasn't jumping all on that bandwagon when all that stuff happened because it was too much. It was too much, right? But he was saying how the cop actually, they was trying to say that the girl's boyfriend shot a shot at the cops. Then they were trying to justify saying that, okay, he was scared or whatever. But no, what happened was the cop actually went over to the side window and unloaded his whole gun into that window. And, you know, they were saying they were trying to get them immunity and all this and all that. But so many times we see in the law, so many times where cops have done actual things, like on camera. And then they get paid, they get fired with paid whatever for the rest of their life and retire. You know, and so that's another thing when I say, when you look at people, you say, oh, this person doesn't have a job, or, you know, oh, you know, this person's in and out of jobs. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? These people that are on this police force been on jobs 30, 40 years. It's breaking my heart. 30, 40 years, 20, 30 years, long stay, long tenure. Had levels of influence over other employees, which whether they're subordinates or peers or higher up, it breaks my heart, you know? And I'm going to tell you, you know, they're phasing God out and everything like that, but the Jesus principle is what I call it, that those that are the lowest, you know, in the worldly sense are the highest in the spiritual. Because in order for you to be high in the unspiritual sense, you have to literally, you have to have a poisonous soul, you know? And again, this is just my perception or my limited view of things. You know, I'm sure there are people out there that are good. But in order to be good, like they said, when you fight with monsters, you live with monsters, you become one, you know? So if you're with these types of people and you see wrongdoing on a daily basis, you have to somehow conform to a certain point in order for you to still be amongst them, you know? But anyways, too deep. And this is see what's going on here? This is how you can tell it's affecting me negatively and I need to stay off the internet. Just this little piece right here. Because when all that stuff was going on, you know, it just gets worse and worse. But I just hopefully the next video will be good.
Louisville Metro Police Department officers with federal crimes related to Miss Taylor's death.
The mayor of Louisville, Kentucky started a hit squad to harass people of color in poor neighborhoods. The house that Breonna Taylor was renting from was sitting in the middle of a gentrification project that the mayor's developer buddies need to get rid of before they could start construction. So after cops arrested an actual drug dealer,
So much to say. And then there's different situations across the United States where this has happened in different ways. If you look at Orlando, Florida, where that big soccer stadium is near downtown Orlando, near the Airlines Arena, it's so ridiculous. There was a little teeny church that I swear from the outside looks like it's got to be 500 square feet, right? They built that stadium right up to the side of that church. And it's been like that forever. But I think recently, and then they offered them millions of dollars. The church said no. And then they got it to the point where now the millions of dollars have been rescinded, but they're giving them a little bit of money and they still got to go anyways. That's another reason why I never wanted to own anything growing up, because the government can take it at any time. Nothing belongs to you, you know? And I used to say that I love computers. I don't anymore. I really don't, you know? The only reason I still have them around, I don't know what else to, I don't know what else to do. You know, you gotta, if you pay bills, you need your computer, you know? If you work, you need your computer. You know, it's just, I don't know what else to do, you know? Ideally, what'll happen for me is that, you know, I talked about the small businesses and whatever, but ideally for me, what would happen is that, you know, I'll be able to sell my little designs and whatever, just enough, because I still want to do good things in this world. You know, I really do, you know, sell just enough and, you know, post all my financials and stuff online, you know, which my financials now would be almost nothing. But, you know, my professional, my business financials and my private ones, just so everybody can see where everything's going. But, you know, just to be able to sell those little pins and stickers and t-shirts and hoodies and stuff that I have, and use the proceeds for that, once a week. I mean, it'll just encourage me for one, but just once a week, maybe buy little gift things or go to churches and hand them out. I mean, just to put out some goodness out there, but it just seems like I can't. I mean, it's doable, but then you have to work. You have to have a job, at least I do, until I can somehow find the magic key to be financially free, and I don't know, I'm just so fed up with everything. And then, like I said, I keep going back and thinking about that lady that went in that parking lot and dinged that woman's car, and then the woman got crazy, and probably her tone was all crazy, and asked for insurance, and how she called the police, but she was the one arrested. I mean, she ended up being the one the police started harassing, and the police lied and said, just so much, so much. It just drags my soul. I mean, just my goodness. And it's not just black people, that this happens to. It happens to other people too. And I'm just tired. I'm so tired. Like, I'm tired. But I still really do believe in this world that, if you are here, it's intended for you to be here, and you have to keep putting forth your goal. And if you get lost along the way, or you have doubt along the way, you'll be guided back or guided out if God doesn't want you there. It's like probably past midnight now, 12:22 a.m. And I really needed to go through my emails. I really did. My emails and my voicemails, but I have not. Partially because I was dependent on the internet for whatever reason. And that's the thing now too, where the world to me is just so much BS. They talk about security and all this other crap. So much BS, from the legal thing I went through to the way the world is operating now, and the stupid stuff that I see on jobs now that's just blatantly retarded. There's no security, and then the stuff they say is security, it's not security for you. It's security for Google, They tie all your devices together, which means basically if somebody steals your device, they have access to all your account information and everything else. I'm so done. I feel I'm so done. And I remember I used to think before, like if you got your phone stolen or something and you do a police report and you call the police or you call the store about your insurance or whatever, that they can find the phone because they know where it is, but they're not going to, because it's not about you. It's about the business making money. That person, if you clear to wipe the phone. And that's probably why that girl is getting fired from Apple, because she told them people don't wipe the phone. Don't wipe the phone. Don't wipe the phone. And little beknownst to her, if I find her video again, I'll do better and say it. That the reason that Apple was mad at her, she didn't give any information that was confidential. You can go to Apple website, the Apple website, and you can find that information there. But the fear factor is like, oh my God, they're going to steal all the information. But not only does the person that stole the phone benefit from the fear that, oh my God, they're going to steal all my information, but Apple does too, because you know what happens? If the phone is way over in China or wherever the hell else it says it is. They have insurance. The person's going to purchase another phone with whatever deductible in the insurance, so Apple makes more money off of that. If that phone is lost or stolen and the person resets the phone and the person can reuse the phone or unlock the phone, they get more money from the monthly bill on whatever phone that is. Those folks don't care nothing about her. And then he's talking about taking that woman's job. That woman was there for 6-7 years. And to me, whatever Apple is, that woman is 10 times better, because she got on TikTok, and this is what I'm telling you, and I want to just share a secret with you about tech jobs and titles and stuff like that. Technical support help desk, technical support specialist, support engineer, IT engineer, all that shit's the same. Some of it sounds all big and fancy. It's all the same, because she's considered a support engineer. She's a technical support help desk. She may answer escalated calls. It's all the same. And I'm going to tell y'all the other farce about work right now too. Just like many years ago when I was going through that legal thing, going through Craigslist jobs, and people were like, oh, it's the medical industry. And I'm just like, and the farce about it is that somebody that hasn't been in the industry, that's looking on the other side, what they perceive in their mind's eye about what this industry is and what people is, whether it's medical or whatever industry that you think is high up, is completely not that. It's not that. You might have a boiler room with a bunch of people puffing cigarettes. And for the Apple employees, you might have somebody that's making $30 an hour. And then you may have a third party that has like 5 or 6 that's making whatever minimum wage is. But they're doing the exact same job. It's whatever that person is allowing themselves to get. You may have, it's just so much BS. I'm just done with it all. You know, just like I said, if something happens crazy, I'm not calling Satan to bail me out. I'm not calling the police. You know, it's me and you, and we gonna learn from, you know, if I need to be tougher, then I'm gonna need to be tougher. You know, because you're not gonna make money off of my million. I'm not gonna be miserable for somebody else to make money off of it. F that. You know, and then I'm pissed. F that. I'm not doing that. So I'm nobody's beautiful queen. I'm just me. You know. But yeah, all of that stuff is just a bunch of propaganda, and I'm done. I'm with that man. About 10 years ago, there was some homeless man. He had a good job, had a wallet with a lot of money in it. He just got fed up. One day he got off work, took his wallet, set it on top of a phone booth somewhere, walked into the wilderness and lived that way for the rest of his life, you know. But the way they got it now with all the diseases they cooking up for everybody, you scared to be out there like that. And no telling. And I wish, you know, if it wasn't for the legal thing, I wouldn't know anything about no homeless shelters or homeless places, because I would never go there. That's, you know, I'm just so mad about everything. I'm angry about everything. And so I need to have this talk with myself about anger again, that basically is because you are not appropriately and effectively managing your boundaries. So I have to dispel that, you know. And if it comes to the point where you're angry about world events and things like that, it's because your focus is not in the right place. If your focus is on you, if my focus is on Maria Chung Willoughby, then it's beautiful. What is there to be mad about? I'm in my house. I'm at peace. You know, what is there to be mad about? You know, and I'm sure other people feel the same way. And maybe I'm not the only one that's over consuming social media. Matter of fact, I'm about to get off this right now, but I love you. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. You know how you can talk yourself into realization. I need to get up off of here, but I love you guys. Thanks for stopping by and keeping me company for a little bit. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll be able to drift off to sleep now. Goodbye.